afternoon, and to June in Topic Time Nation. Today's June 3rd, the first June show of 2026, and I have an awesome guest tonight. I got to meet courtesy of one Constance Payne down in the Atlanta area. He's a filmmaker and an actor, and we're going to talk to him and look at a demo reel, pretty intense demo reel. I watched it last night, but before we get to him, got to read these incredible underwriters, and then we will commence per usual. So, we have Equestrians Anonymous right down the road here in Carver on Route 58. Quality used tax, saddles, equipment, show clothing, essentials, and gifts for the horse, hound, and human. We have the Riverside Cafe in Wareham, open 6 days a week, all except Wednesday, 7 a.m. to 1 p.m. They make the best breakfast from Boston to the Cape, and they have DoorDash delivery. We have RW Carpet and Flooring in Norton, covering floors for 50 years. We have the Cornerstone Barbershop in Pembroke. We have Tom Auto in Middleborough. We have Haven Psychiatric Services in East Wareham, used to be at a location of my other building in Easton. We have Evan Young Realty, that's my brother Evan the Realtor. We have DNS Auto Works and Collision Specialists in Abington, right up the road in the other way, in the other direction from Equestrians Anonymous on Route 58 in Abington. We have Salon Giovanni in Marshfield. We have New England Floorscapes in Middleborough, and we have Kingston Auto Body in Kingston. And I want to thank you guys very much. And now Jonathan Devlin, you go by John or Jonathan?
I go by John.
Go by John, but its full name is Jonathan. Cool, okay. And you're a filmmaker, and what? Now all those films behind you, that's your library, I guess, right?
Yeah, this is like my archive of collecting films.
Okay.
I like all kind of cinema, like all around the world. I live in a horror space. A lot of the stuff I make is horror, but this is my film school right here.
Okay. Well, when you say you film school, I mean, do you teach film school?
No, it's just this is how I learn the craft, just from discovering things from all around the world, different times.
Oh yeah, okay.
So I kind of just get inspiration from those places.
Okay, how long have you been doing this for?
Probably since 2016, I would guess.
Oh, 10 years, okay.
Yeah, about 10 years.
Okay, so what I do with every guest is I try to, profile them from A beginning to Z. Well, obviously, we're going to go from, your childhood to the current time and whatever your future might hold, because I always say life is an epic journey. Everything, from start to finish is connected.
Of course.
To whatever was in between. So tell me about yourself as a kid. I know you in the Atlanta area, too?
Yeah, I'm in Atlanta right now.
You're in Atlanta, okay.
Yeah.
Tell me about, you somewhere else before?
Yeah, I was born in Alabama, and
couldn't resist that one.
Yeah, yeah. As soon as I was born, my parents moved to Washington State.
Okay, why?
My dad was a Pentecostal preacher, and he had a church up in Washington State that he was going to pastor. So we lived up there until I was like in second grade, and then we came back to Alabama.
I got a quick question right off the bat from that.
Yep.
Was there some kind of maybe a conflict of interest that your dad was a man of the cloth and you're a horror filmmaker? I'm just wondering.
As of now, I don't feel like there is. I'm sure he'd rather me to be doing something else.
Okay.
He's probably not going to watch my movies, but also my experience of growing up in that environment kind of fueled this in a way.
Okay.
I've always been
what environment was that?
Just like a strict religious environment.
I got it. Okay.
So I have a rebellious spirit, and this kind of came out in my creativity.
Oh, I guess so. You don't do any other kind of films but horror films?
I've acted in other things. I have a film on Tubi right now called Velvicide, where I play a suicide hotline operator. And I guess it's not really horror. I guess it's sort of classified as horror, but it's more of a thriller mystery.
Okay.
But as far as what I make on my own directing, it's mostly horror films.
Okay.
And like some comedy mixed in.
I was going to say, the comedy's great. You got people have to laugh.
Yeah.
Even if it's out of shock, they still have to laugh if you want it to do well. And that's, and that makes sense. Now, do you have a large group of people that you work with in terms of like editing and casting for your films? Or tell me about those. Tell me about.
I'm usually just grinding myself. I actually just started out as an actor. I transitioned. I was doing pro wrestling for 15 years, and I transitioned into acting because I figure if I haven't made it by the time I'm like 35, I'm probably not going to make it in pro wrestling, and I want to save my body, from the bumps. So, and I always loved films. I worked at a Blockbuster. I managed a Blockbuster, so I learned a lot of films from there.
Well, that's the 20th century, so I guess it was, right?
Yeah. So I transitioned into acting, but by about the time I did that, I was like 4 years into that and got a couple starring roles. And then COVID happened,
Oh,
and
yeah.
all the acting shut down for me, and so a lot of the roles I had lined up just kind of went away because nobody was working. So that's when I decided, I had a camera because I was a hobby photographer and doing like art photography and stuff. And I was like, well, I can record video with this. I can write a script, with like me and my roommate. And, I did some green screen effects and taught myself how to edit. And I kind of just went from there. It started as like, a one man show, and then slowly started to add, more actors. Like I had friends that I'd worked with on previous films, and they
Like
kind of
Constance, right?
collab with me to come up with stuff.
Like Constance, you mean, right?
Well, not actually, Constance, not right off the bat. I had done a couple features before this, and so I had like my friend from a Buckshort Productions,
Okay.
and Wages of Sin, who's a crew in Augusta. I work with them quite a lot, so they'll help me with like camera work and locations and audio stuff like that. Constance came up later. We were mutual friends on Facebook, but we had never met in person. And I guess she had seen some of my work. Okay,
All
but
right.
yeah, she hit me up because she needed a stunt person for the Icons of Horror, and we did a fight scene, and it went off really good because we both knew what we were
Oh,
doing.
yeah, yeah. No,
That always helps.
it does help. And that having been said, I want you to tell me a little bit more about your wrestling career, even though, you didn't take it to the highest pinnacle. How long have you done that? And what made you think you had the wherewithal to make it a career? And
uh,
how did that
well,
go?
sure, but I don't know. I've always just pursued the things I was interested in, and I've always been a fan of pro wrestling. There was a time where I didn't think I had a chance because, it was like a bunch of jacked up steroid guys
Right.
who were wrestlers, but, there was a big scandal in that industry with steroids. And
Yep.
so they kind of phased that out and started booking smaller guys. And I started watching a promotion called Ring of Honor Wrestling, and it was all like guys about my size that
Okay.
were doing more technical,
Well,
more
you're not
athletic
a
stuff.
small guy. You got a shoulder width there.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't start this way though.
Oh, you didn't? Okay.
I was a scrawny kid, so I've actually talked to some pro wrestlers who were famous at the time when I was a carny. They were selling T-shirts at the carnival, and I told them I want to be a pro wrestler, and she just kind of laughed at me and told me to pick a different career choice. But
Wow.
I was like,
You're so
you don't
young.
tell, you're not going to tell me what I can't do. So I made it a point, at a certain point in my life, I was like, I got to figure out what I'm going to do. And, there was no college degree that I was interested in that, I didn't want to commit my time to that. I wanted to learn something I cared about. And at a moment, it was wrestling. So I found somebody to train with and rode the roads with them. And we toured a bunch of promotions in the Southeast. And, it was going good for a while, but then, at a certain point, I got, job stuff because I didn't want to quit my day job I still got to pay my bills. Wrestling
Sure.
doesn't pay the bills when you're starting out. And then I had relationship stuff.
Right.
So there was a lot of things that I kind of just like put in front of wrestling and didn't pursue it as hard as I probably could have. But I made a choice, and that was the choice I made. And at a certain point, I just wasn't going anywhere else with it.
Okay. Well, on that note, we're going to watch a reel from Jonathan. Enjoy it. It's quite fascinating. We're going to come back and discuss it. And so stay tuned and watch the reel. We'll be right back.
You been drinking, boy? I'm just messing with you, boy. Anybody with half a break could see y'all done got hitched. Of course you been drinking.
Why'd you do it, Mike?
What the fuck? Everybody needs some help in here!
Bateman's dead.
How?
He melted.
Anderson.
We need to mutate!
Don't you have a machine for that?
I prefer to do it by hand. It makes it more human.
I want you to recall a conflict. Was there a problem you had with another individual?
I recall a problem on the phone call with you.
Yes. You were being quite difficult about your obligation to the church and to do this audit.
Oh, sorry. Can't have any loose end.
What the hell do you want?
The book. Hand it over. Give it to me, and I'll grant you anything.
You don't look like Cassidy. She's got bigger tits. Well, I guess you'll do then. Come on. Alright, bitch. Hurry the fuck up. Oh, you're one of them kinky bitches, ain't you? Then you exactly what the fuck can send me. Come on, what you got, baby? What you... Oh, yeah. You know what I fucking like, baby? Pull it fucking tight. Ah, yeah. Ah.
I'm Daniel. Daniel. But, nice to meet you. Thank you.
Stupid! 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 And when God says, women, be subservient to your men. Love your men like Christ loves the church. Does that mean start talking back? No! No, you do as God commands. And you listen to your man. He is your rock. He is the lighthouse in the raging storm. Mr. Kersey, I need you to open this door. I just want to make this as painless as possible. We've come for your child.
No, sorry for that slight inconvenience. You will all start picking up shipments next week and start distribution immediately. Are there any objections?
No, it looks like some high quality shit. Ready to start selling some brimstone. We'll do everything we can.
My associate Razor will see you all out. I hope you all have a great day. And I look forward to your cooperation.
I'm Victoria, and that's my dick.
Oh, Jonathan, that was great. Tell us what we just watched. Give us a synopsis of all those films that you compiled for that demo reel.
So that's a collection of some films I've directed. I usually, if I'm directing a film, I'm usually starring in it because I work cheap. I work cheap as an actor when I'm working for myself, so that cuts the budget down a little bit.
Wow.
But yeah, that was, I think Joe Stryker was in there, which was my first villain role, with some friends down here from the band called the Casket Creatures that made like an action comedy.
Okay.
There was Erecting a Monster, which is my first directorial film with like a full cast and everything. And that won a lot of awards, which I got some here. Erecting a Monster,
okay.
yeah. This is my award for best horror comedy for my first film I put into a festival. And this kind of got the ball rolling for me as far as directing goes.
Okay.
And I ended up making 2 sequels. But yeah, it was a fun time.
Yeah, I bet it was. Wow. Okay. Now, like I said before, tell me about like the group, the people you have that are on call for acting and also editing your videos, or do you do it yourself?
So I do the bulk of the editing. I had my friend Dan, who was the DP on 2 of the Erecting Monster films. He did editing on those 2.
Okay.
and that was more of a convenience thing. Like he had the footage and he lived in a different city, and it was a pain just to transfer all the files and stuff because it was so much data.
Okay.
And he's a better editor than me, to be honest.
Why
And
not? Yeah.
he volunteered to do it, so I let him. I was like, yeah, thank you so much for doing this for me. And those won awards also.
Sweet.
But typically I'll edit my own stuff, and that's just kind of like a on the job training for me. I just mess with the program enough and teach myself stuff, and I like that because I like to sculpt the film
Of course.
myself,
It's
in
like,
my own way.
yeah.
And maybe somebody can do it better, but it's I don't have to pay myself to do it. So a lot of it's I'm working with low budget, so a lot of it's about saving money, cutting cost,
Of course.
and so usually I have a sound guy, a DP, actors. I make sure to pay them when they come on board. But I've worked with some actors that I like to bring back just because they're punctual. They do a really good work. They're easy to work with. Like they don't, pretty much anything I ask them to do, they're not going to argue about it.
Okay. Is any of that stuff dangerous by any chance? It looked like it might have been, but you tell me.
I guess some of the stunts might be a little dangerous if you don't know what you're doing.
Of course.
I've never been seriously hurt doing any of that stuff.
Well, you
There
know
was-
what you're doing, but I guess you helped us too, right?
Yeah,
What they're doing.
yeah.
Okay.
If they usually I don't book them in any dangerous things.
Okay.
But I do some risque stuff on
Yeah,
film
no, I
too.
saw that. I like it.
So you got to be open to that, So I'm not, I'm pretty open in conversation leading up to filming stuff, like what's to be expected of the roles. So I never really have any issues there.
Well, tell me about this now. I want to go back. When you tried wrestling, did you follow a regimen working out? Because you're not a small guy. It looks like you bulked
Yeah.
up pretty good. Did you work?
Yeah.
If you don't want to talk about steroids, I'm not asking if you did steroids. I'm guessing
No,
you
no.
probably didn't. But did you?
No.
Did you and do you still work out? And if so, does it help when you work when you film?
Yeah, I was working out. I actually used to be a smoker. So when I
Okay.
decided to start wrestling, I was about 23 years old. And
Okay.
I was working in a factory, so I was doing a lot of physical work in the factory, working like 12 hours a day, 60 hours a week sometimes. And then I was going to the gym
Yeah.
the same day and wrestling training once a week or sometimes twice a week. So yeah, I was pretty active and I was grinding for a good 5 years in that kind of regiment.
Sweet.
And it was rough.
I'm sure it was.
And but the longer I did it, the more I slacked off. And especially the last couple of years, my gym routine has been pretty much non-existent.
Really? Huh.
Yeah. But I
Okay.
used to
Is that
keep
because you
up
don't have
with it.
enough time, or because you just don't feel up to doing it? Because you look good. You look very healthy.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Some of it is time, but I'm also getting older, so I value my time.
Oh yeah.
To
Well, I know,
relate,
but you
I'm
wanna-
busy.
Help with working out. Help people. How old are you, if you don't mind my asking?
I'm 43.
Okay. See, you look. I mean, based on what you're telling me, now, first of all, you don't really look 40. I mean, you look like you're in the range, but I mean, you clearly, you look like a guy who might have just been a college student, like right out of spring break or something. You know what I'm saying? That's you. Or you look like someone who could be a very slow aging guy, that's a lot older, which in whatever it is, you're doing it right. So
Yeah, my doctor says I'm a unicorn. So
okay. I don't know what that. We don't have a horn though. How's that? How come?
I don't know, man. I need to grow one.
Do you have are you married with kids or anything?
No. I was married at one time, but that was a long time ago.
Okay, but you don't have any kids, right?
No kids, no.
Okay, so
And
that's good. That's
that kind of helps with the time management with doing all the stuff that I do.
Of course it does. Now tell me about what you write. Tell me about your script writing. How's that go? And how long?
Oh, so I actually hate writing. I like coming up with ideas and I like write things in my head.
Okay.
But the process of sitting it down and putting it down is pretty rough for me because if I can't do it in one sitting, which is why I make short films, if I can't write a full script in one sitting, I'm probably not going to finish it. So I usually write my scripts like 15 minutes because I can do that in one sitting and I can focus, on the story I'm telling. But as soon as I walk away from something, it takes me forever to get back to it. So I do intend to write a feature eventually, but you know, if I'm putting that kind of effort into something, I want it to be the right thing.
Of course.
And that's hard to come up with.
Oh, okay. Well, and that having been said, when do you co-write with other people, or do you just do it yourself?
For the most part, it's just me. I might bounce ideas off people, like Erecting a Monster. I kind of bounce some ideas off my co-star Johnny, who was also my tag team partner when we were wrestling.
Wow. Okay.
And he's a funny guy, so you know, Erecting a Monster.
That wouldn't be John Whitwell, would it?
No.
Okay. Yeah, you know him because he did.
Yeah, I know John. Yeah, we worked on a film together.
Oh, you did. Okay, but
Yeah.
Okay. Huh. All right. Well, this is fascinating stuff. What is your tag team partner doing now? Is he still wrestling too?
No, he's had some injuries, and of course, like me, he's getting older.
Yep.
So he's not really wrestling so much anymore. Like I've cast him in 3 of the films, all 3 of the Erecting a Monster films he was in. And I have another film coming up that I'm casting him in, which I'm gonna stretch him a little because he's more of a comedian, and I'm gonna make him do a more serious role.
Oh.
So we'll see what happens.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, he helped me with ideas for that. I kind of just streamline it and focus everything and put it down.
Okay.
And for I did a Italian giallo inspired film, which is focused on like feet fetishes.
Okay.
And I was having some trouble to get an idea for a story to map that out. And I had Eric Poe and my co-star Angelica.
In relation to Edgar Allan?
Yeah, he's a big Edgar Allan Poe fan. Yeah, but yeah, they kind of threw some ideas at me to help me find a way to make that work.
Do you do anything else in entertainment? Do you play music? Do you sing? Do you dance? Do you model?
I used to, before I started wrestling, I was trying to be in a metal band. I was a metal vocalist.
Okay.
Doing the Cookie Monster vocals and all that.
It must come in handy for the sound effects for your films, right?
Yeah, I have done the metal voice for one short film I was in where I was possessed by a demon.
Oh, okay.
So I needed to have kind of like a demonic voice, and I was able to do it without any like post editing or anything. Just belt it out.
Well, I can hear it now in your voice. even as you speak it, the inflection is coming out demonic as you should be. Right? I mean, okay. All right. Well, tell me about what are you working on currently?
Currently, I dabble in AI a lot because as a low budget filmmaker, and I used to experiment it just to make images because I'm an artist, but I'm not really like a painter or anything.
Okay.
And
what do you mean you're an artist? What do you be more specific if you would? You mean your filmmaking is an art?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay,
but you know, I don't paint or anything like that. But I wanted to make images. So like when AI came around in like 2021, I started messing with it, just trying to get stuff in my head to manifest. And it's of course AI's progressed since then, and now it's got to the point where you can make video.
Yeah.
So there's an idea I had for a film. It's based on H.P. Lovecraft's story called Beyond the Walls of Sleep.
Oh wow. Okay.
I'm renaming it Beyond the Walls of Flesh, but it takes place in a mental hospital, and there's a lot of like dream nightmarish imagery, and it's stuff I don't have a budget to make practically. So I've decided to make the entire 15-minute short with AI and using my actors and their voices, but using AI to do like the animations and the scenes.
Okay. Well, it sounds like you got it down when it comes to using AI.
Yeah.
Which is
I've been using it a long time. I've even been published in magazines for some of the stuff I've made.
Sweet.
It's kind of a controversial topic in the industry. A lot of people are against it for whatever reasons. To me, I think art evolves, and art isn't really about the tools you use. It's just about your expression. And if that's a tool I can use to express myself, I'm all for it. It makes it cheaper and easier for me a lot of times. And it kind of levels the playing field with like big studios and stuff like that actually have money. I can compete a little bit more with if I'm using AI.
Of course. And on that note, we're now in the final 5 minutes of the show. I hope you had fun talking to me.
No, of course.
And I hope I asked good questions. And so here's what I want you to do. In the remaining time, give a few shouts out to people that are going to see the show, and then we'll wrap it up with my snap and the way we began it, if that's okay.
Okay, well, first we got to give a shout out to Constance. She recommended me. Constance Payne and John Whitwell.
Yeah, both of them.
Two really
Great guys.
groovy actors that I love working with. They're really cool, even behind
I
the
wouldn't want to
scenes.
be. I wouldn't want to be in a dark alley with them. But I get it. Okay. Yeah.
Buckshort Productions, Richard Tanner, The Wages of Sin. Who else? Belvicide Crew, Kenneth Perkins and Failsafe Productions. My dudes from Flush Studios and Born Scared Studios. So I did Old Man Slaughter with them, and they have another detective comedy called Get That Dick that's coming out.
I like it.
Yeah. So off the top of my head, that's what I got right now.
Okay. Well, if you had a good time with me, but I'd like you to, I know Constance passed my number to you. If you could think any of those people that I haven't interviewed, give them my number and we'll get them on as guests, preferably in person, but I know we can certainly do it by Zoom as we are today, if that's okay, if you mind doing that. Now, before we wrap the show up, is there anything coming up on the horizon that you want to mention that you don't want to say, oh, I forgot it. I wish I'd mentioned that before I always ask every guest this question. If not, that's fine, but I'm just checking on that real quick.
Well, first of all, I plug my website because I actually have a lot of these Blu-rays for sale on dagenfilms.bigcartel.com. So that's my distribution. It's not all my films. There's a lot of my films, but I'm also distributing for other indie filmmakers.
Okay.
And so that's where you can see my work. And also I have Velvicide. It's VLVICIDE. That's on Tubi.
Okay.
You can stream that for free. It's a feature film and it's really good.
Okay.
And I have Get That Dick coming up sometime this summer, I believe.
Okay.
We're going to a screening soon, but I'm not sure about the distribution on that one. But it's a feature. It's like a buddy cop, like Cop and a Half type of movie. But yeah, check those out.
Okay, real quick, lift your shirt up, not off your belly, but let's see that picture. You see that's you, right?
Yeah, that's me from
pick up
Punching
all
the Clown.
so I can see the whole face, real quick. Ah, beautiful. Okay, so everybody can see what he does. That's what John does. So, all right. So, John, I got one last favor to ask. We're gonna wrap the show up. You stick around, and my tech guy will take a pic for Facebook. Are you on Facebook?
Yes, I am.
All right, I want to connect with you on Facebook. Then I can tag you. We okay to do that?
Yeah, you can.
Okay. All right, folks. Another great Talking Time episode coming to a conclusion, wrapping up and snapping up. Plenty more on tap for the future. So enjoy it and see you next time. Take care.